Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here. Welcome to another stream, and today we're going to be talking about Hellboy, and I also have a guest with me here today, and I wanted to introduce you to Sniperweed. So Sniperweed, why don't you, the floor is yours, take a minute and say hi.
Hi guys, my name is Sniperweed, and I am one of the legendary community moderators and player experience expert for Network, and I'm excited to be here with T-Bone tonight.
Thanks, Sniperweed. So what I wanted to do was I also reached out to the content team. I wanted to invite Nicole and Alex and a few of the other people, but unfortunately they were not able to make it tonight. But I was able to get Sniperweed, and I wanted to get this chance to talk to you guys. We're gonna do the same thing today. We're going to take a look at the cards, and we're going to talk about the deck itself, and also we're going to use this opportunity to learn a little bit about Sniperweed as the community moderator. All right, so let's get started. First thing, I'm going to talk about the cards that are actually part of the event that you can earn by playing. And so we're going to start by looking at the Master Collection card, and this is the Master Collection card, Anung Rama. Right, and if you look at the battle skill, what it'll do is it'll create 3 light power gem 4s, and then it will basically do a nuke attack for up to 250,000 attack, and it increases at it goes at increment of 62,500% for every 100 light Slayer skill point. So this is actually the same as the Timeless Lovers deck, which we will showcase as well. And it does have a passive which will also increase the Slayer's hero's attack by up to 30% for 1 turn. And so this is the Master Collection card. So by itself, it's not a bad card at all. And we can also take a look at the other cards. And this is the event card. So this is the event card, Transformed Daimyo. And these are light honor cards. So keep in mind, the Spire event, one of the earlier towers has a light honor restriction, and so this deck is going to help you with that as well. And just taking a quick pause for a second, just saying hi to everybody on the chat. So saying hi to Ure, Damien, MDS, and Sweet Rain, Sandra, Robert, Naya, Arcadian, and New York Live 69. Welcome everybody to the stream. We are joined here by Sniperweed. We're going to talk a little bit about the cards, the deck itself, the event, since it is a Hellboy event, and we're going to obviously have a chat with our community moderator. This is the first time we're doing a sort of live conversation, so I'm excited to have him here. All right, and so now let's take a look at the Daimyo. I didn't actually talk about him, so let's take a look at the Transformed Daimyo. And so this card will do nuke damage as well, and it creates 4 light power gem 1s. So this is a very basic sort of event card itself. It does deal a pretty good nuke damage because I know this from the Water Slayer deck, and so I know that it's a pretty powerful nuke damage dealer. And we also have Kenneth and MTM and Sauce Boss on chat with us here today. So welcome again. And if you take a look at the other cards now, so let's take a look at the support card. And these are all cards that are based on the movie, right? So this is really cool. I mean, if you take a look at the art here, so this is Summoner Alice, and she's the support card, and this is one of the better support cards in the game. Like, I really like this mechanic here. And so what it does is it will apply Suffering Spirits to three Slayers, and whenever you attack, it will create 3 light gems. So if you have 2 of these support cards on the team, you can always pretty much fill up the board every time you attack after you use the battle skill. So this is a really good support card to have. It doesn't heal like a regular support card that you're used to. And then we have Hellboy. The actual Hellboy is the ultra rare card. And what this card does is it will apply what you call Straight Out of Hell to 3 light Slayers, and it will create a light power gem 2 each time you attack, and it lasts 1 turn. So basically what you'll do is when you apply it, they will all create light power gem 2s. And of course, we can't forget about the ultimate form, which is the Apocalypse Hellboy. And you can see here it looks very different. So Hellboy is riding on this dragon with his sword. And what you see here is the battle skill is a much improved version. And what it does is it applies Straight Out of Hell to 3 light Slayers, and it creates light power gem 4s instead of 2s from the ultra rare card. And it has a passive that every time it attacks, it will create a light power gem 4. And then it has another passive, which also increases the attack of all the basically all the light slayers. And of course, being an ultimate form, it will also give arcane killer skill to all of the light slayer team. So a lot of information there, but like I said, this is sort of the same as the light slayer deck. And what I wanted to show you is, this was the deck that I had before when we first started Legendary 3.0 started with this deck actually, and this was a really strong deck. And now, Sniper, why don't you tell? When we had talked about this, you actually mentioned that you liked this deck as well. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about what you think?
Well, the reasons I like this deck is that it's a pretty easy deck to use. You have to activate 3 of the cards, then you wait a turn, the boss hits you, and then you activate the other 2 cards. And that, to me, it flows really well. And that's what I like about it. You don't have to really think about it or really count your turns and things like that, like a lot of the other complicated decks.
Okay. Yeah, so one of the things that I feel too is that, having cards that work well in turn counter is really what makes a good deck. And we've seen some decks in the past where the timing just doesn't seem to work very well. And in this particular case, the ultimate form actually works well as a whole compared to the whole deck. And I know that we've seen others as well. Now, so what would you say was your favorite deck so far since 3.0 has started?
Bio Blitzer.
Bio
He was
Blitzer.
my favorite. Yeah. That dark deck was just awesome. I loved it. I loved the nuke ability that it had. The only thing I wish is that the nuke wasn't at the end of the turn.
Yeah, I know. And one of the things that was annoying about that deck is if you time out, you wouldn't actually do the nuke, right?
Or if you died before then too, you didn't get the nuke, which was rather annoying.
Right. Yeah. That's how I felt too. But I think that's also what made it interesting is that it's not a super overpowering deck because it does have that little nuance to it. So it's not a guaranteed, kill. You have to really manage your time and your health as well. So I agree there. That is definitely a really fun deck. I kind of wish that this was the mechanic for this Light Slayer deck, to be honest with you, because it feels unique. And given the amount of hype that we've put into this event, I was really kind of hoping that, hey, we will have a really unique skill there. But I'm not really complaining about the same sort of skills with a Light Slayer deck. So let's take a look. So we've got a lot of people saying hi to you. Is there anything you wanted to say to the viewers here?
Hi. No, it's a pleasure to meet all of you guys. Hi, T-Bone. I'm MTM. And let's see who else. Arcadian. You guys are all awesome. And a lot of people I don't know, and I look forward to meeting you all. So if you all ever want to message me later, just let me know.
All right, great, thanks. So just taking a look at some of the questions as well, besides all the hellos, there's lots of tags there. So thank you so much for the support here so far and joining us for the chat. And so I see a question here from Rev High Lord Vlon Flux. I think what made Kaliba deck good was multiple Haldor and or Guardians of Islam from first 3.0 deck. Sorry, I missed the question. Yes. And then the next question is, do you think the starter deck is going to be the Mage Giant team? That's a good question. So I'm going to defer that to MTM. I didn't look at his spreadsheet. So MTM maintains the spreadsheet that contains information about what's the upcoming decks that's expected. And unfortunately, I didn't actually look at it. So it could be, it feels like that might be the right timing, but not sure. So what I wanted to do also is talk about the other cards that aren't part of the deck that you can earn, but sort of the collector cards that you can get by purchasing. So I did end up buying the starter pack, the Hellboy I guess it was the basic or starter pack that contained the original Hellboy something BRD PD agent.
BPRD.
There you go. Thank you. It's BPRD. And after you purchase that for $5 US, you can then now look at a pro pack. And I think after the pro pack is the expert pack. So what I wanted to do is also show you what cards are available in these packs so that you can also get a chance for sort of first look at them. So if you were to get the pro pack, you'll also get a 5-star Ben Daimyo. Okay, and these are characters that are also in the movie. And this character will basically be like a event card. So this card is the same as the Transform Daimyo in that it will create 4 light power gems, and it'll increase the team attack by 15%. So it's a little bit different in that it's not a nuke damage dealer, but this is more like I can't remember the exact card, but it's from the green deck, Green Earth deck, I think. And so it is empowered, but let me see. So it is empowered, but it doesn't have the killer bonus to it. But again, this is sort of a limited edition type cards that you can't earn through playing. So that's why I wanted to make sure that you saw. And then the other card is Alice Monaghan. And this card, which you can just take a look at the cards here. So this is that's pretty awesome graphics. I got to be honest here. So this is another version of the support card. And if you take a look, this card will basically create 8 light gems, and you'll heal for 5,000% heal recovery. So think like Kokopelli. So this is kind of like a Kokopelli type card, so that you can heal for quite a bit of amount with your card. And then finally, with this pack, you can also get the relic. So this is a relic that is called Hellboy's Gun. Now keep in mind, this is important. So this relic, at 6 stars, my understanding is it only creates 1 Power Gem 1 as opposed to Power Gem 3. So it is going to be weaker than the actual event relic that you're going to be able to earn on Thursday. So if you choose to purchase it, I just want to make sure that you are aware that this is going to give you the light gems at the beginning of your turn, but isn't going to give you the same Power Gem boost that you're used to from the regular relics. So Sniperweed, I think, out of these cards here, do you have a preference? Is there a card that you like the best?
I have no preference. I kind of do like Ben, though. I like his skills and his ability to spawn power gems, because that's always important in deck building, is getting more power gems.
Mm-hmm. So if you don't, so like Ben Daimyo, it can also be is also the same as the transform Daimyo. And so we can take a look at this again, just to refresh everyone's memory here. And so I think I need to go through here. And one of the things that I've sort of been thinking about is a event card that creates Power Gem 1s. If it has a lower cooldown, I think it'll be better personally. But I can see it really adds to the overall deck sort of power as well. Like it's a very subtle thing. What I've noticed is if you can combine this deck with other cards that create a lot of regular gems, it can help boost the damage there. So this is the Transform Daimyo again, which creates 4 light power gems, and it also does the nuke damage. I'm just going to take a look at some of the questions as well. So I see Damien and Duppy, Teresa, and we got a lot of people messaging here. So also a lot of questions. Pedro, so there's a question. Do you think the game is more pay to win week after week? As a free-to-play user, it's really hard lately to grow. So I've been talking about this for a long time now. I think the game itself definitely is pay to play, and there is definitely an element of pay to win. And, I'm just being honest here. If you really want to be at the top of the leagues and, top of the competition, you really can't expect to do that consistently if you don't spend on the event card itself. I wish that we could use. I mean, there are cases where you can use old cards and still do really well. Like you probably won't be at the top, and I've certainly shown that if you have the right combination of cards with some luck, you can also do it. And it's just my personal feeling is that it doesn't really bother me so much as that it's a pay to win type game. But I think the sentiment that it's hard to grow is one that might be one that we need to take a look at. And so let me know what you think. What's your challenge with growth in terms of like being a free-to-play player? What makes it hard for you to grow? I definitely have my thoughts about it, but I want to hear your thoughts as well. And so let's see any other questions there. So there's one that asks, do I think that this deck is underwhelming with all the hype? So my thoughts are that I wish that it was more unique because we've seen this before. But I can tell you that, I could probably do a quick fight here just to show you how this works. For those of you who might have started the game after the event where this was introduced, I'm just going to quickly do a fight here. Let's see. I'm just going to pick a random one, and I'm going to use the deck here just to kind of show you how this works. And this is a good turn 2 type deck as well, actually. So let me think. Is it a turn 2? Turn 1, you match gems. Turn 2, activate. It's a turn 3 deck. So it's not a really super fast deck, but it is a relatively good deck. You know, you can see I only have the the ultimate form here. So what's different between this deck and the Water Slayer deck is that I had to sacrifice the Master Collection card and the my ultra rare card. So in this particular deck, now the meta is you keep your Master Collection card and your ultra rare card, so you're gonna get a lot more power. And so in this particular setup, I also have Haldor there to create 2 power gems. So you can see here, activating just 2 of those support cards and doing one quick hit, I'm going to fill up my board with full of gems here. Plus, then I didn't activate my Master Collection card, so had I done that, I would have actually filled it up with all power gems, and then what you would do is you would simply activate everything else. And so it's a turn 3 type deck, and that can deal just a ton of damage here. So it really isn't too bad, right? I think that underwhelming. I definitely I understand why you would think that. I was personally a little disappointed it wasn't different, but I'm happy that if it was going to be any other mechanic, I think this one is not a bad one to have. So that's the sort of how I think about it. And so let's see, we've got other people that have mentioned here. So Aram Al Shamini, from what I see, last Dark deck is more strong than this hype. So yeah, I don't know if the deck itself was necessarily hype. The event definitely is something that we're all excited about. It is a Hellboy event, and a lot of it I believe is there is that collector item sort of element to it, right? So there are more cards this event that you can collect than any other events that we've seen. Some of them, though, unfortunately, you do have to do a one-time purchase using actual cash, but then there is no there is no RNG. There's no randomness involved in that. So to some people, that might be what is preferred, but for me, I think that the $5 I spent on it is sufficient for me. Now, what I want to do is move forward and talk a little bit about some of the changes in the newsfeed. And Sniperweed, I am probably going to ask you to, fill me in. Feel free to fill me in on anything that I might be missing, or just kind of make sure that we can understand this a little bit. I'm not going to put you on the spot, obviously, but I am going to read the newsfeed and talk about some of the changes. And
Sounds good.
So the first thing is, well, congratulations to Caesar, who actually won the premier ticket contest. So I think that's pretty cool. I hope you guys got a chance to to at least participate in this and join on the hype there. And that is going to be a prepay flight down to California, I think, for 2, and a premiere viewing. Now, are you gonna go down there and watch the movie with the team?
No.
No, that's too bad.
It's too warm.
It's too warm. So for those of you who don't know, Sniperweed actually lives in a very cool place. Why don't you tell them where it is that you currently stay at?
Well, I used to live in Omaha, Nebraska. Then my wife got into physician assistant school, so we moved to Alaska so she could be in the school, and that's where we're currently residing. We've been here for a year and a couple of months.
Yeah, and so Sniperweed is also in some of the line chats, and he does share pictures of his surroundings from time to time. Some really beautiful photos. There are some really funny stories that you shared as well. Care to share any with us?
Oh, well, what do you want to hear exactly?
There's the one that involved a bear, I think.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I got that one under lock. So there was this one time my kid and I were up playing by our friend's house just up the road where I currently live right now. And I just got an uneasy feeling. So I snatched my kid up and I went to the car and we left. Later that day, someone came over to my friend's house, knocked on the door, said, "Hey, we're looking for our friend. We lost him." And I was like, and then my friend, he gave him their bells, his bear spray, and his other stuff. He's like, "Look, you're wandering out in the Alaskan wilderness without anything to protect yourself." So they brought it back 30 minutes later. The very next later on that night, they were out. They recruited someone to walk with them, so a friend. And well, they stumbled upon this bear, and this bear mauled the guy. But they also found the bear that killed these sisters' brothers. So they walked through the woods without any protection on them, and they got mauled by a bear. Sad times.
It is.
But it's Alaska. That's Alaska.
I guess it's probably not a. I hope it's not a common story, but I think the fact
No,
is
it's
you
not.
got that.
In Anchorage, there's only been like 2 bear attacks in like 10 years. I mean, they're super rare, but there's just been one last year. Well, one 2 years ago, and one last year now.
Right.
So I mean, they're super rare.
But you got the spider sense to get away from there. By the way, I saw the preview for the upcoming Spider-Man movie, Far Away from Home. Looks really good. Just another cross movie promotion. Why not? We're doing a movie thing right now, right? So,
Why
anyways,
not?
back to the news feed. So what I like here is that they're going to talk about. So now they're also adding in the frenzy boss information. So let me just make sure that I get to it here. Here. So some things to watch out for. So we have frenzy bosses this year, so you can take a look here and pay attention so that you can build your team around it. So a nice thing here is that if you plan to forge an ultimate relic, you now, for this week at least, you don't need the enchant dust. So it's one of those things where a lot of new players won't have the enchant dust, and I actually hope that that is here to stay. So everybody give feedback on how good this change is, so that we can make sure that the team hears that we don't want to use these really difficult to get materials to craft these relics. And the other thing is, personally, I always recommend that if you only have 2 of the relics, don't bother creating the ultimate, because you're going to end up losing damage overall, and it's not going to feel as powerful as you expect. Typically, if you have more than 2 relics available, that's when it makes sense to forge the ultimate relic. But if you want it to, at least this event, it's going to be a little bit cheaper. Now,
Yeah, and I would also like to point out that this is the only time that you've ever seen the Ascended Crown Shards and Ascended Legend Crystal Shards in the game.
okay, so that was something that we were wondering. So thanks for that information. So we are going to see ascended crown shards and also the things that you need in order to level up the ascended legend cards. So thanks for the information. Now, the one thing that I do want to point out is the Rune Crate update, and this is going to be purely my view. And so last week that they did announce that there was going to be an upcoming change to the bonus Rune Crates, and for those of you who were in the chat with me last time, we were wondering what that meant. And unfortunately, what they decided to do is to remove all the chances for runes in tier 1 and tier 2. So to me, that's a miss. So I personally have given feedback as well, that taking away the guaranteed runes from tier 1 and tier 2 is a bad move. When they switched to a chance for a jackpot, that was not a great move, because I felt like that was a little bit of a step in the wrong direction, given that it's not guaranteed anymore. And then with this change where now we have 0 chance of getting any, I hope that they would reconsider and bring it back. But it's too late for this event since people already have the pack that they can purchase. So it's just one of those things where I kind of feel like, hey, look, for the next event, like if they were going to make an improvement, make it so that it's guaranteed. For those of us who choose to spend for tier 1 and tier 2, it's still an investment. We should earn something. Because if you look at the first 2 tiers here, it's the only thing you get is a potential Slayer hero, which is not going to be from an updated dust pool, and neither of these two. So the only time you're going to get a guaranteed sort of a Slayer card is actually in tier 4, where it says 1 light Slayer. So unfortunately, tier 1, tier 2 has gone down in value for me, and so that's just the feedback I just wanted to give there. And Sniperweed, not going to put you on the spot here, but hopefully this is something that you can also bring back to the team as a feedback from just as a player. This is how I feel.
Of course, I'll take it back to them.
All right. So let's just take a look here and see. So more people here. Ben Rutherford. And so I think Damien would say, what's the point? These cards are not going to be useful in the future. And I think that's basically true for a lot of the cards. But one thing I will say is, despite how we feel about the cards in general, I mean, like I said, right? A lot of people, they choose to spend or not spend. That's completely up to you. To me, it's a free market. And so I'm totally okay with, whatever price and whatever price point they put on there. Some things are better than others, and I give feedback on what I think is a better value than not. But I think the point is, Generation 3 cards actually do have a longer longevity, to me anyways, compared to some of the older cards in Generation 2. And so getting the cards now, they'll still be useful. Like if you've ever crafted a Master Collection card or an Ultra Rare card in Generation 3, you'll find that when the event for it comes back again, you can still find a lot of good use for it. Like I found that the second time around, the second cycle for the cards, like if you just take a look at my cards, I mean, like some of the, so like for example, what I did was the Water Commander deck. I didn't get the commander. I didn't get the Master Collection hero for the second event, but just using the one from the previous event, I did really well as well. So it's just one of those things where that really wasn't possible in Generation 2. It just couldn't really compete. And so I personally feel that the Generation 3 cards with Empowerment is a little bit better in longevity, but I do feel that, I do wish that it was not so, and I wish the sentiment wasn't so that, oh, it's, what's the point, like it's just so useless. And so some more reuse definitely would be good. What I like to see more is Generation 2 cards being more useful again, and that definitely requires us to see more reforged heroes. Let's take a look at the chat again and just see. So I think I'm definitely gonna have to update the title here. I just kind of randomly put guest here, but it was Sniperweed, and I will change that later. And we've got a lot of viewers right now, so thank you for joining us for this chat. So that was basically what I wanted to cover in terms of the event itself, and also just the cards. So if we take a look again, so there are a total of the regular cards that we see, and plus at least 2 more. I don't know if the expert pack has an additional card. I'm not sure. I can only see up to the pro. So let me know if there is another one that's there that I'm missing. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and open the runes and hope for the best. So I actually didn't get any of the cards last time, and so I got quite a bit of runes here. So I got 8,000.
You got all the cards, don't you? This
no,
time around.
Yeah, what I meant was I didn't craft. I didn't use my runes to craft anything, so I saved my runes. So I got 8,000 runes this time, and I've got also 3.6 thousand ultra rare runes. So I'm hoping for the best here. So let's see what we get here. So I do have all the cards. I am gonna talk about those as well, because I think that it'd be good just to make sure we talk about them. And so let's see here. Look at that.
Oh man,
I know. I feel like every time I do this live in the stream, I end up getting a dupe. So that is catch my breath. So yeah, that's unfortunate. So I'll be okay though. So anyways, the cards that are here are going to be Arabata, and what's interesting is these are all the cards. These are 2 of the cards from the Mage event. So 2 of these cards are from the Mage event, Orion, which is also the Giant. So basically what we've got is the collection card. So this was one of the collection cards from that event that was a support. And Orion is the actual card from the event itself. And this is a light Gemfall card. And it's not a bad card because it works for Slayer as well as Commander, and also for the Mage event that we've never had since that one time. And then finally you have Architect Sophia, which is another that was the starter pack for that event. And this is an ultra rare card, but it only works if you have Alexa. So you need Alexa to turn on Lock On, and then it will create light power gens for every 20 stacks of corrupt intensity. 10 corrupt intensity if you are 6 stars. So these are the cards there. I think that Orion is not a bad card, and Arabata is not too bad either as a support card. Works pretty well with Morte Thronos. So those are the cards there, and I think I could craft up to 3 runes this time. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed I'll be able to get the ultimate form. If I don't, I'll get really bummed. So everybody, hope we get send me some good wishes here. And let's see, we got some messages. Ultra form. You also want an ultimate form?
Oh yeah. I just want the dragon. Are you kidding?
yeah, that is a pretty nice card there. So again, we're just gonna put this in the view here so that we can see the nice dragon there. All right, so let's take a look and see what we're missing here. So let's see, one of the bottlenecks. Yeah, so a lot of people are commenting that like the removal of the enchant shards is a good thing because it's really a bottleneck for a lot of people. Another thing that's really a bottleneck is the pink dust, right? So the pink dust for a lot of the players that are new is also a really difficult thing. And the thing is, I have a lot of pink dust saved up only because I've been keeping up with my spires. So if we take a look at the spires right now, I'm actually keeping up with it. I'm on level Tower 4. I mean, I'm not as far as a lot of players, but I'm Tower 4 and level 7 right now. And a lot of times what you do is you get, either 4-star, 5-star, or 6-star cards, and I basically just dust them all so that I do have some pink stars saved up, and I'm not spending them as much as I used to. So I am at 10,000 right now. And also don't forget to get your free starter pack. Some people forget about them, so don't forget to do that. And if you're new, if you're just starting out, make sure you don't buy the 500 gem one for Slayer events. It just doesn't make sense. And let's see, we've got some other people here. So the Pondering Pigeon, welcome. And MWP48, Gary Castle. Welcome to the stream. And MTN, what are you saying here? So there are 2 extra heroes, but also 5 Dark Mystic Wardens. We have 5 Mystic Wardens? Do you know about that?
I've got to look for it because I have no idea what MTM's talking about.
I see. So there's the normal deck plus a 3 from the pack plus 4
It could be a
wardens.
Surprise later in the event or something.
So MTM has this insane ability to take a look at the codex to figure out what's going on, and he's sharing his wisdom with us right now. So let's see how. Let's catch up to the chat here, and so there's a request here. So can Sniper provide us some insight on what N3's opinion is on game catalyst and general resource restrictions? So
I'm not part of the design team, and I would love to elaborate on it, but I seriously don't know enough about it to even comment on it. So I'm sorry, but I will ask the team about it later and see if we can't get something from them.
Right. And so I think it's also a good time to just kind of provide some clarity here. And this is, I think, one of the, it's just difficult to really understand and know what your sort of your role in the community, because I think a lot of people expect you to be part of the dev team and that you have, a lot of the insights on what's going on. So why don't you take this opportunity and talk a little bit about that?
I think one of the easiest ways to describe my job is that I am a player. And when I was a player, I helped build the community way back when with a lot of the great guild leaders, Boogie Woogie Man, one of the SS guild leaders, I forget her name, and I would love to mention her, but I can't remember it. Well, those guys, they all built this community, and we built it together. And then we all got invited to this guild leader Slack, or not guild leader, it was a VIP Slack. And well, there was just this bridge between the developers and the players that just wasn't being met, So they were giving us information. I was just like, you know what, the players need to know this. So I was sharing the information with the players, and that's basically how I got my job. And that's what I do, is that I just bring information from the development team to the players as the best of my ability that I can. And that's what I do. I don't do the game. I don't exactly know what's going on with the game. It's 117 Sniperweed 117.
117. Okay.
Yeah, but I do know some of what's going on, and those things I can't really explain to you guys because they're in progress and things change, bugs happen, things just don't work when they try to implement them, and those are the things that I can't talk about.
All right, thanks for that. So, I think this is just one of the opportunities I wanted to provide here, since we do see you, Sniper, on the forums, and also you do have your own chat room in the network app. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to, sort of open up the floor to the players and people who are joining us to get a chance to know you a little bit as well through this. I think it's a good chance for people to sort of I think just hearing you chatting here is a great thing. And just, hopefully people have a better sense of what they can expect from you when they ask for help and what they won't be able to get answers from. So it sounds like, for the most part, if it's related to the game design decisions, it isn't something that you're a part of.
Well, yeah, I'm not exactly a part of that. The players that say, hey, we don't like it that you removed all the runes from tier 1 and tier 2. So I'll take that to the team. Be like, look, guys, the players, they even though it wasn't exactly the best, they kind of liked it there because there was always that chance to get those runes. Those are the things that I'll take out. I'm basically a middleman.
Okay. Sounds good. So Con William Deep is asking if I could show what the large gem pack offers. I will click on it, but I will not purchase it for $49.99. So the offer here is basically 7,500 gems, and you do get 500, basically VIP experience points. And the reason why this is a good offer, in their opinion, is because if you compare that to the other pack that is at $40, you get 4,750 gems. So you get a lot more gems for $10 more. And the other alternative is to get the $20 pack. And I think if you get 22 of those at 20, that's 46.50. Same thing, like you're basically losing out on the gems here. So that's what that offers there. So again, not going to actually purchase that.
I think that other one doesn't have gem gifts either.
That's the
I
other
like
thing. Yeah,
getting them for the gym gifts.
there's no gem gifts, but one of the things I really like with the gem stuff is have you guys been collecting your free gifts? Like I know I don't think everybody gets it, but I've been receiving the free gifts, and sometimes they actually have the gem gift as part of the sort of reward there. So that's actually really helpful there. And so, like I said here, Hellboy Pro Pack right now is $10 at $9.99 US, and if you purchase this one, then there's another one for I believe $19.99 US, and that is the Expert Pack, and it'll have the same cards there as well. All right, and so we got some more people saying hi. So just saying hi to Nice and Frida, and yeah, no problem. So what I'm planning to do after this stream here is that on Thursday we will do our typical stream where we actually do some deck building with more cards this time. And as a Slayer deck, I think it opens up a little bit more because I'm not so concerned about overkill. This is really just an opportunity to play around with the decks. So we're gonna do that. And if there's I will use this opportunity to showcase the mechanic as well. I think when I showed the Grail mechanic last Wednesday, that was well received. So I'm going to do another short 5-minute video tomorrow so that we can do that. And, of course, comment down below in the video and let me know what you would like to see more of in terms of the short videos so that I can try to do that as well. And actually, one of the questions I do have for you, Sniperweed, while we're here. So you also do the videos.
Yeah, the first look videos every Tuesday.
Videos. Yes. And so why don't you walk us through your process there? Like, what are you thinking about? Because I think a lot of people have questions like, hey, why are we showing it this way? Like, why don't you walk us through your thought process and also just kind of what you wanted to do?
So basically, the design of the video is when I looked at it, I was like, I want to know what each of the cards do and how they work together. And well, that's what the video is around. It's like how each one of them interacts with the other ones, and that's how you use them. I would love to do more of deck building, but I just simply don't have time for that. I'm a busy person. But yeah, that's all it is just how the cards work together, and that's why I use the Ultra form clear down to the support hero. I use one of each now, just so you can see how they work together and how they're supposed to be played together. And sometimes I do miss how the cards are supposed to be played, but that's besides the point.
Right. So I think. All right, so now I've given him a chance to talk about it. I think one of the feedback that I, along with many others, could give is that perhaps you don't need to show with 5 relics of the event deck. That's just one thing that I think that's what gets people on the wrong foot there.
Oh, but Berg and I love Alex Berg. Mm-hmm. He's like my BFF. Just kidding, but I like him. But so anyways, Thursdays we do a team that's just kind of like main cards and support heroes just kind of thrown together with one relic from each event, and those are kind of the deck that players are wanting to see. I don't know if you guys are seeing it or if we're missing it. Maybe we need to highlight it better, but we do one.
Okay,
that was the point.
Okay. So yeah, and I think the other thing that I would probably suggest here is expanding on the ultimate relic article that you guys come up with. I think Baruch is the one that creates that, but I think showing how the ultimate relic works in those intro videos might also be a good thing, just to give people more information, because this is something that I really don't have an opportunity to do as much. I think if the idea is to make it a sort of first look, just to kind of give people an idea. I think that it may not be too bad of an idea to do so, but understandably, you are busy.
No, I will drop that into my my list of things to cover during the first look videos. That I will make sure that we cover the ultimate relic next week and every week going forward.
Okay, and so now I'm going to just say here, Mr. Monkey Spanker, I'm not going to talk about the boycott, or I'm not really going to talk about sort of the politics of things right now. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to answer that. And so now the question here, Duppy Conquer, you're having problems with the orange tier material. So I'll just kind of help mention this right now, where you can expect to get them. So if you are in the campaigns, one of the things that you should know is you can get this in 2 places in the campaigns. You can either get them in the lead campaign or the main campaign. I recommend going to the main campaign here, and that would be 718. I can't see it right there, but 718 is actually this one. So this is the one where you're going to be able to farm for the tier shards. So that would be where you can get them if you wanted to farm it. The drop rate is pretty low. The other alternative is to go through the Dust Merchant. So you can get that in the Catalyst tier. So you can buy a full one for 400 dust, and also if you don't have enough dust, you can also get them through the dungeons here. So the dungeons is going to be not in the gear dungeon, but it's going to be in the elemental trials. So if you go to the trial store, this is also where you can get these items, but this one's a little bit more expensive. You can get a single shard for 200 of these tokens, and the way that you get these tokens is you can collect them by going through the trials every day. And so that would be where you could collect them, and you can also get them as well. All right, and so again, I'm gonna go back to talk about this. I didn't mean to come across as harsh as I meant, but I think I just wanted to say, like, let's separate what, like, if there's a question, I think you can ping, you can probably ping Sniperweed directly in the network app. He is available on the network app, so if you have questions there, feel free to ask there. And so Arcadian Hashassin, yes, a legend trial offers tier shards. I can't remember if that's just in the silver trial, or I believe it's just in the silver, because I don't think the gold trials offer tier shards, but definitely go after the silver trial. So one of the things that I do a lot is in the legend trials here, don't forget to use your tokens for the silver bosses. You actually get pretty good things. And one of the things I'm actively hunting for right now is actually the Pentarch gem, the fire one, so I can ascend my last copy of Ray. And so I have been going up against Ozomatli for quite a while now, and so that's something to keep in mind as well. And I'm trying to remember, there's something I wanted to mention, I just couldn't remember. Right, one thing I do wanted to ask is we've been collecting these Hellboy tokens now for the last 17 days. Is it possible for you to let us in a little bit on, like, what we can expect to get from those?
From a player standpoint, what I have always noticed is that when we get tokens like that in an event, we always get to open something with those tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I imagine is going to happen. We're going to be opening stuff with these tokens. I don't know exactly what it's going to be in these. Maybe if that's how it's going to be, I don't know exactly what's going to be.
Okay. And so I think the last time they offered something like this, I can't remember what event that was.
I think it was a player celebration event, wasn't it? Like Christmas time?
Yeah, and I think we got a total of 10 of those tokens. And from what I've heard, people have, some people got gems. There were essences as well as some catalysts.
Cards. Some players got the cards.
Some players got cards. That's what I didn't get. I got just all essences. So if that's the case, then I hope that that sounds good then, because that means we have 17 tokens that we can redeem for rewards, and I'm hoping that's the case, because that will be a nice little thing for the players, for this particular event. And so so that's what I want to cover. So thanks a lot for the information so far, and I just want to make sure that I haven't missed any other comments below here. And so, since ads seems equal to 100 gems, can we look for freely seeing ads for gems soon? I'm not sure about that. Drops are very rare. Yes, that is true. And ask the team if they can offer free gems to watch a video, even if it's one. So hey, so there's a request here. Hey, can we have more options to collect free gems? I definitely like the idea. So if you're taking notes, Sniperweed, this is another opportunity. If you wouldn't mind just sharing that. Of course, not expecting.
I'm always taking notes.
Okay. And so MTN says it was a $3 release. Oh, okay. So they gave stuff: souls, cards, gem, dust, essences, etc. So I'm hoping that they would have that this event as well. And Con William Deep, Punisher bosses, why are they on the Slayer events? I had a really hard time with Punisher bosses. So let's go back to the news.
I kind of like the Punisher bosses, just for one reason, is that the guild that I was in, BLO Ninjas, I love the ninjas, by the way, is that while we were playing, it was a lot of teamwork. It wasn't like the secret bosses that spawned, and everyone zero tags except for one person that killed it. Everyone actually had to do damage against this boss, and it brought in a lot of communication within the guild. And that's what I liked about the bosses, but they did have a lot of health.
Yeah, and I think that depending on how it works out, it's... my guild, we didn't really take out many Punisher bosses. We came in last in our league, unfortunately. So oof. I guess we're gonna have to see how. I think that the reality is it will shift the balance of the guilds a little bit, And so that is something that I do want to pay attention to as well. And so Mr. Monkey Spanker, looks like you already got looks like MTN already answered that. We don't have any new reforged. That is unfortunate. I have been hoping for more reforged cards. I think it's one of the best things that they introduced as a 3.0 update was the reforged cards. So some of the cards that I really liked were the Earth Bounty Hunter Wukong. So this is a really good card. And the other one that was really great is also the Fire one, which is the Reforged Contessa. So that is a Fire Slayer. And I'm going to use a type here to say Fable. And so you can see the Reforged Contessa, which actually acts like Morte Thronos. It'll cleanse all debuffs. These are really good cards that are going to be relevant. And I guess the other card that's going to be relevant is going to be our legend cards, right? So the legend cards, if you can actually get them ascended to the 2-star, which I believe Sniperweed, based on what you're saying, is we will have the opportunity to get them to 2 stars because we're going to be able to earn these ascended crown and ascended tiers in the event, correct?
Yeah, it's in the newsfeed as well.
Okay. Oh, it's in the newsfeed. So yeah, I totally missed that. I skimmed through that. And so that do you know if we're going to be able to collect enough through one event to actually ascend one?
I actually don't know. One of my positions is that I don't like to get more information than what I need. So I like to know as much as you guys do that way. So the players aren't like, well, Sniperweed knows everything and he's telling his guild these things. And no, that's not the case,
Right. Okay. Thanks for the information.
Of course.
Yeah. So I think my guild managed to get up to 221 or something like that for Punisher bosses. So yeah, we didn't get all the way to 300. And with my team, the best I could do was maybe like 1 trillion damage. But I mean, I was really happy with that, but I couldn't really do all that much. And
was that a 3 key?
I was using 3 keys. Yeah, I was using
Nice.
3 keys, with 2 support heroes, and that's pretty much it. And I thought that was pretty kick-ass.
No, that is really good.
Yeah. And so let's see. So Queen Femme Fatale. So we're expected to buy new packs from now on. Another way for devs to. So I can't speak for the devs, but I will say this. So there are 2 ways for you to earn cards, and one way is through play, like we are used to normally. And I think for this particular event, given that it is a promotional event with a movie, there is a way for people who are who are collectors. If you wanted to, you can also purchase them. But I think the key here is these cards aren't required for you to play the event. So there's no ultra rare cards in here. These are just the support and event main card types. And the relic is also weaker. And I think that is by design here. So like imagine if this was a super powerful deck that you can use cash to purchase. I think that would then make that definitely will shift more toward that, where hey, you now need to spend even more money to get the cards. But personally, how I feel, like I mentioned before, I believe this is basically just like a free market. They offer something additional. If you wanted it, you can go after it. If you don't want it, it's not going to impact your gameplay. And that's what I believe. As long as the packs themselves don't impact gameplay by not acquiring them, I'm okay with them being in the game. I mean, like we there are a lot of other places where microtransactions are available. I think it's just a matter of, as long as we know about them and we're smart about what we choose to spend on, if it's a good deal, I would definitely advertise it. But in this case, I think it's more just, if you like the cards, if you like the movie, if you want the the opportunity to get something that's unique, then that would be something for you. But for me, I think just the $5 pack was sufficient for me. Right. And so, yeah, and Kong William Deep, yes, that is true. So the past ultimate cards. So this is one thing that I think is also important to note here. So if you were to forge the ultimate form, past ultimates will not, you will not be able to keep the Master Collection card and the Ultra Rare card. So keep that in mind. You will be sacrificing those. But this particular week's Ultimate Hero, you will be able to keep both Master Collection card and the Ultra Rare. So there is a difference. So that is something to keep in mind here.
Yeah, I think one of the big differences is that when you get the card, you'll notice that if you use runes to get it, you'll get a soul that goes with it. And those cards are the ones that don't lose because the Ultra form uses the souls rather than the cards.
Yes, so that's the
biggest
difference. Yeah, so that's the mechanic. But I guess, in the third cycle, I'm not sure how that's going to work out if we wanted to forge them. So that would be something interesting to think about. So I would assume it's the same mechanic, right? Like you just introduce ways to get souls for the old cards. That's what I think.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So there's also a request. Hey, if Generation 1 cards are basically obsolete now, is it possible to just purchase them using gold? I think that's a pretty good idea because right now you can use dust to randomly get one, but if you can use gold to purchase them, I think that's another way to use an in-game currency to purchase cards that are very, very old. I actually don't think that's too bad of an idea. So again, just more feedback. And so I think Sniperweed, I think this is also a good opportunity for you to kind of provide more information on, like, if people have feedback like this, like things that they wanted to reach out to developers and whatnot. What's a good way for them to reach out to you?
Well, I'm on every social platform that you can find: Facebook, Line, Discord, the network app, Slack. I mean, whatever you guys have, you can message me on. I will leave T-Bone with a description of all my tags and stuff for that so that he could put it somewhere, or you guys can just look at it later. But I'm on everything, so I will type out a list for you.
Okay, thank you. And so just to answer Queen Fan Fatale's question, I think we should expect on Thursday the actual relic to be dropped. If you take a look at the first look video, you'll see that the relic that they show is actually different than the Hellboy's gun. And so this is not the relic that you should expect that is going to be part of this event. So you will still get the regular relic drop on the day on Thursdays. So that's something to keep in mind there. And let's see.
I think in the video it was called something else.
It definitely was called something else. It also looked different. It wasn't Hellboy's gun. And so let's see. How do you evolve them to 2 pink stars? I guess is the question.
Ultra form heroes. You have to have You have to have 2 Master Collection heroes and 2 Ultra forms. So 1 Ultra form and 1 Master Collection will get you to 1 pink star. And then if you have another 2, so Master Collection and Ultra rare, you'll get to the 2nd pink star.
Is that going to use, so to get it to the 2nd pink star, does it then sacrifice the cards, or do you still use the souls mechanic?
You still use the souls. If you pull from the Master Collection pack and you notice that it comes with a soul, every time you pull from there, you will be getting a soul with the Master Collection card.
Okay, thank you. Arcadian has that's pretty funny. You're like Lord Voldemort. I mean, he who must not be named, right? So Horcrux everywhere.
I am everywhere, and I love it. I just love the community, and I like to interact with them, and that's like my favorite part of my day is getting to know the community.
Yeah. And so we're at 9:22, so this is basically a 50-minute stream right now. Typically, I like to keep it under 1 hour if possible, so that it's at least viewable. So thanks again, Sniperweed, for joining us for the stream here, and thank you so much to the viewers for joining me here. I think this is one of the most more engaging streams here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get through every single one of your questions. Hopefully, I got through as many as I could. And again, so for those of you who are new, thanks for joining us for the first time, and those of you who have been here often, thanks for your continued support. And so hopefully I've answered some of the questions here. And just to sign up, before I sign off here, I guess I'll talk about like my thoughts on this particular deck. As a deck, it's not going to be your most overpowered deck like the last Dark Slayer deck, but at the same time, I think this is a good sort of well-rounded deck that could be useful, and you get to use Hellboy as the cards here, so that's an added bonus there. But I think in terms of versatility and usability, this deck isn't bad. So this is not a bad deck. I like the support card based on the fact that you can use them in any situation to get a lot of gems, and if you can get the ultimate form card, it is a really powerful card to combine with the rest of your cards as well. And so I definitely think that, it sucks that we can't get the tier 1, tier 2 runes, but I'm hoping that the rest of you, as always, hope you get the Master Collection card and your ultra rares with 6 unique pulls, unlike me with the duplicates. But I hope for the best for you guys. And so thanks a lot for watching here. Thank you. And like I said, comment down below, and if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe so that you can get more notifications for when I do come online. And also comment down below, let me know your thoughts, feedback, whatever you like to see, content-wise, things that you'd like to see. And I will make sure to put in the description information on how you can get a hold of Sniperweed so that you can bother him even more. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for your time. And I will see you in the next episode. Take care, guys.